Hi everyone, it's Sherry with Red Apple Auctions. Thank you for joining me, where today we're going to be talking about how you can reduce costs in your fundraising auction catalog. Now, I'm not going to be talking about today about whether you should have a catalog or not have a catalog. I'm going to assume that the decision has been made that you are going to have a catalog, but I do want to give you some tips on how to reduce the costs. For those of you listening to the podcast, you'll just have to imagine this. But on the screen right now is this photo, and it's taken of all of these catalogs, dozens of catalogs, on my bedroom floor. And I had spread these out, oh gosh, it was about a year ago now, because every spring I cull through my catalogs and I sell them online. You can buy a collection of them for a very inexpensive amount. It's a great way to get ideas for your own auction and get ideas on, maybe how you should be laying it out and so forth. So you can keep your eye out on that. I don't have any for sale right now, but they do sell quickly. So here are all of these catalogs sort of spread out. And if you look at my cursor, like this one right here, and this catalog over here, and this catalog over here, these are really nice catalogs. They're done by schools. They're professionally designed. They've got spiral-bound binding to them. Just extremely well done. And they are sent out in advance to all of their guests, so the guests can see everything that's going to be for sale that night. It's like getting the, they talk about in the olden days, you waited for the Sears catalog right before Christmas, or J.C. Penney. I don't even know if they still do that. I'm sure that they do, but that's how these catalogs present themselves. Well, one of my school clients got really smart about how she could reduce the costs of her catalog without affecting the readability of it, or really anything except the cost. So I want to share those two ideas with you now so that you can use them as well. Number one is eliminate the tabs. If you are using tabs, not all schools or all nonprofits do, but if you are one of those that is, consider eliminating them. And by tabs, I mean these things. See how there's a tab right here, and then the content is behind it. Here's another one for wine. So if you are able to eliminate that just by going with a heavier type of heavier weight paper, so people can still flip through to different sections. The tabs are very nice and elegant, but they do add cost fairly substantially to your catalog. And when we start looking at fundraising auctions, you will find that one of the most expensive elements of producing an auction is the printing costs. So anything that we can do to kind of reduce that cost is going to be in your favor. So that was the first thing she did, is she eliminated these tabs and went with a heavier weight paper to designate different sections. And then secondly, she redesigned the layout. Now this photo is not showing that. I couldn't get a good photo that would represent this, so this is just a free clip art sort of piece. But the idea of redesigning the layout is you could work with a graphic designer, or you could do this yourself. You want to make sure, perhaps reducing the font size. You still got to keep it large enough though, so that people over the age of 40 can read it easily. But perhaps experiment with different styles of font, experiment with different sizes of font, and also experiment with the margins and the general layout. If you're working with a good graphic artist, they'll be able to suggest some things to you that will really make a difference. And in her case, she was able to reduce the size of the catalog, but the catalog actually looked better. What was the final result? Huge improvement. Look at this. From $14,000 the previous year to $7,900 after she made these two changes. Is that not that's substantial? My goodness. Almost half. Not quite, but almost half. So there you have it, just two quick ideas. Now, if you're looking for some other ideas, I do have a free gift for you, and you're looking at it right here on the screen. It's what sold like a gem in 2010. It's the top 100 items I sold for overvalue in last year's auctions, and it's wonderful for your procurement meetings when you're trying to brainstorm and come up with some ideas of what's going to sell well here. I know you'll enjoy it because we get lots of good feedback on it. So you can pick that up at redappleauctions.com. I'm Sherry with Red Apple Auctions. Again, thank you for joining me, and good luck to you in your charity auction.